hectic, stressful, and I was going in an inward spiral really. I led a crazy, stressful life, 2-year journey with a job that involved flying around at least once a week across Europe, and with that come gluttony. I mentioned stress, boredom, and just fitness and everything just nosedived. I guess about 6 to 8 months of some self-research got me to the pinnacle point of going, I need a PT. And it was just like that horrible, ding moment that everybody talks about, was slogging it out wasn't going to work. Now I'd kind of upgraded my own mindset with food, and I kind of knew what I should and shouldn't be doing, but I just needed that expert in it. So I got onto Google and thought, well, I need to keep it simple. I need to find a PT, right? That's where I got laser focused onto that, was I need a PT. I wanted somebody that was dedicated to the individual or to a group setting. So yeah, I went onto Google, and Google come up with the PT, which I'm with today at Chigwell's, and it was great. So I found it and made contact with Tom straight away. Terrible. Yeah, it was rock bottom. So I thought I was fit. I knew I was carrying way too much weight, and I knew that my fitness was dire. But what I didn't realise was how bad it got. And it's very difficult when I mentioned going into the gym setting, when you are your own measure, and that's troublesome to push yourself, but also how to measure yourself, because you are your own benchmark. So I thought I was bad. It wasn't until I joined Tom with Chigwell training that I was like, you then realised how bad it was. Going through the first initial trial period of just some basic movements, it was the beauty and the beast. It was a real slap of reality of how bad things had come, but also the beauty to go, this guy knows how to get me to the place I want it to be. I think it was how fast you could excel, whether that was mindset, whether it was to do with food, or it was just to do with your general fitness. There are things that I thought would take years to get to, and in fact it was a matter of weeks, if not months. Results were almost instantaneous, and the fitness and everything was just within weeks. I was seeing improvements session to session. I wanted to train with Tom 4 times a week, and to find that time out of a busy schedule where I didn't have time to do anything was the biggest challenge I had. But I had to really self-evaluate where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, and I started to really map out my day-to-day activities, and I found an incredible amount of spare time that I could give up to myself. So yeah, that was the big challenge, was finding the time to commit, and here I am doing 3 to 4 sessions a week with zero impact on my family life or work. It's one of the biggest things that I love. I think that's what keeps you coming back. Not only are you subject to an environment where you're with like-minded people that are on the same journey, you're also tapping into expert knowledge from Tom and the training that you're provided. But it truly is a family. The camaraderie that goes around and the laughs and jokes that you get involved in is brilliant. I love the small setups that we have with people in different chat rooms, whether it's on Facebook and all the platforms where there's a lot of banter that goes on. And I think that's part of the journey that I've got to realise, is that you have to enjoy what you're doing. And that's where it's just so different from going into a normal gym environment, or trying to train at home where you're on your own or amongst a lot of strangers. Whereas here there's a sense of ownership, and you don't want to let people down. And that's the other thing that I love, is that there's a lot of inward competition if you want it, and that's really addictive. I started running in March 2018, and it's now nearly the end of July, and so we've just completed a 31-mile ultra marathon. Rewind to when I first started PT in September 2017, I couldn't run a mile. It was just not something I could do. I always wanted to run, but that was more of a nice thing to achieve at some point. Would always become injured and then just give it up, and it was a horrible cycle, and something I just never thought I'd get to do. I just wasn't a runner. I wasn't born to run at all. So now to have achieved this, it's a huge milestone in my life that I'm super proud to have been a part of the family that did that run, but also for myself to have achieved something that was impossible. It just wasn't even in my realms of the achievable. And I think that's something that Tom has brought to, is giving us that belief that we can achieve the unachievable. It's really an impressive goal to have done. How incredible. From the knowledge of what Tom and what you bring to the show with your previous racing experience and training experience gives you that confidence that you can do it. And having the resources provided to us, and that was training programs, nutritional support, a lot of mindset work to really delve into how you tick and how you work. But then to be put amongst other like-minded people that want to achieve the same goal to you is super powerful. Without any of those things, I don't think it would have been possible. If I could go back to myself or others, I would say just get it done. Start now. Stop hanging around and waiting for the light bulb moment that doesn't have to come. You just need to make time and make it happen. That's what I've wasted nearly 20 plus years of my life doing, is searching for a cure, and there isn't one. You're not going to read it, you're not going to find it, you just have to act. And that's one of the things that I would just say is do it. Just crack on and make it happen.